The genocide of American morality. Breaking taboos for the shock value has always been the in thing to do with each upcoming generation. It is nothing new. History is full of protests against the older generation and their shortcomings and failures from the younger generation's point of view. Each generation has had the desire to learn from their elders' mistakes and attempt to build a better world for themselves and their children to come. Sometimes that desire has come to fruition, and sometimes it hasn't. However, while it has always been in the next generation to criticize their elders and to demand and implement changes, the recent shame culture of today is a new trend. Protesting against the evils of morality, godliness, virtue, authority, and especially against the Bible and those who hold to it, is very much in fashion now. It is no longer the fear of God and or his judgment that keeps things in check to a certain extent, as it has in the past. Common sense and decent conscience are now a thing of the past for the majority. Today, it is very acceptable and even expected to protest against the evils of morality and godliness. Shaming is the new bullying system for getting one's own way today. Even though it is reasonable to assume that one must have some moral criteria for which to decide if someone is worth shaming, it's no longer required within today's society. It is not even required that one has any worthwhile and or legal cause for it. One needs only to throw a louder and more violent temper tantrum in order to get one's own way today. Case in point, being pro-life makes you anti-women's rights. Wanting legal immigration rather than illegal immigration makes you a racist. Being pro-Second Amendment makes you a murderer. Believing that marriage was ordained of God and to be only between a man and a woman makes you a homophobe. And don't you dare use the word sodomy today. There's no such thing as free speech anymore. Shaming is not enough for many either. Death threats to those who will not conform is not so uncommon as it was only a generation ago. Sadly, the older generation, for the most part, is giving ground. Few stand for what they know is moral and right anymore. They're cowardly, and even too cowardly to even stand up to their own kids, let alone stand up to the brats of others. Proverbs chapter 30, verse number 11 through 14. There is a generation that curseth their father, and doth not bless their mother. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. There is a generation, oh, how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. Go ahead. Tell me that that doesn't describe today. Tell me that American morality is alive and well. If you think so, you're as deluded as the rest. You're most certainly, we are most certainly in the time of woe. Woe unto America. Her time is getting very short. Isaiah 50, verse number 20. Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil, that put darkness for light, and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter. This is today's generation. Thanks for listening.